Okay, episode 155. Oh, they will be switching the broadcast system, uh, digital broadcast. Yeah, this is their usual strategy in buying time. Okay. Is this about Hasegawa again? Pero yeah, this is about Hasegawa and Gin. And they going to another pachinko. Yeah. The other side of the other side of the other side would be the other side. Oh, this is something like maybe a lot or something. Oh, horse racing. So they upgraded their gambling practice. Yeah. But still, most of the I think most of the gambling practices has some kind of a bias that they use in order for the owners of the gambling place not to lose to lose any money but to profit. Usually there's always cheating on these kinds of gambling. But there's also some that are not not cheating, that there's also there's that's somewhat eligible or decent, but I guess usually that the case is that there's always some kind of pattern or cheating going on. It's just that it's not that easy to find or to pinpoint. But I guess I think I'm not sure with with horse racing. And as usual, they didn't get any money again. That's harsh. What did you expect? Oh, another race. Yeah, that's what they always say. Oh, I wonder how much they have lost in this. Because usually I think it's much bigger compared to the the bets are much higher compared to pachinko. Yeah, that's that isn't new. Oh, you have to walk back, and I think Shinpachi will kill you again. Yeah, never change. Yeah. Oh, he's starting to blame Gin now. Oh, is he starting to realize na that ever since he met Gin, this is way back episode. I think it's around less than 10 episodes before. But they're using the Naruto tactic right now of just doing flashbacks. Because from the beginning of the episode, they just made an announcement, and now they're just doing flashbacks. But I guess this is also somewhat kind of a reminder of where Hasegawa has come from. Even the prince, stupid prince. But I guess this also somewhat shows his where his principles is set. I guess even though he's in his lowest right now, he's still doing what he wants, and this is doing what uh is following his morals compared to being a former bakufu, but still but not following what his principles are. And yeah, they're really using a lot of flashbacks for Hasegawa, the Madao. Oh, that's Madao. So that's what Madao means in English, Torque. It's sad that he's working a lot of part-time jobs and he just wastes it all in gambling. He's somewhat similar to Gin. And it's just a constant cycle of what they do. And they just get older and older. Yeah. But this is a great lesson for us, especially ones who are somewhat enticed in gambling as a lesson. He won? Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, I remember correctly that Tatsu is already wants to be with him again. Even after the arc where Hasegawa was imprisoned. I hope he's even though he's gambling is at least saving a part of his income to prepare for, yeah. And never Oh yeah. This is what I'm worried that it will be leading to. Yeah. I think that's my one of my favorite Hasegawa episodes. Yeah. But ever since then, nothing really has changed that much for Hasegawa. Because I thought that at this moment, Hasegawa has now much better situation and has been living with his wife. But I guess they still want to keep the the Madao in the group. So that's why he's still living as a homeless guy. Yeah. Yeah. But they're really deeping delving a lot in Hasegawa's backstory. Maybe in the next few episodes he will finally be released from being a Madao. But I guess if that happens, he'll be separated from the group. So I'm not sure if they will go through that. Because the only reason he's oh another gamble. Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. I think they'll be going home butt naked. The sad thing is people really go through this kind of addiction to gambling in hopes to turn around their lives. But after winning a bit, they become greedy for more. That instead of being satisfied with their win, they end up losing with nothing. Even uh, being even betting other their own properties, things like that. Just away. Cheap impact. I'm assuming it will win, but once they win, they will try to bet again, expecting that they have the formula on how to pick the perfect bet in this kind of races, and eventually it will spiral down for to them being going back to having nothing again, and maybe even worse than that. Where's just away? Where's just away? Oh. I think it was. Oh. He bet on the opposite. Oh. Uh, yeah. Oh. Oh. I think Gin should have waited for the result before he boosted against Sasagawa. Because the problem is, he'll be going away with nothing, and I think after what he have said to Hasegawa, maybe he won't even give him any spare for transpo. Oh, what I'm expecting is both of these riders will not win. Both of them will lose again. But the contrast of their motivations. I hope that at least Hasegawa will win. Because it doesn't matter if Gin wins. Oh, one. Oh, just away. At least it's better because at least this finally, hopefully, it will turn around Hasegawa's. Oh, don't lose the ticket. I'm worried that he might lose the ticket. At least he's not feeling any hatred towards Gin. Ah. And Gin's now playing nice with Hasegawa because he's his only ride home. Oh. Oh, and now Gin's bet really won, but he tear up his, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh. Ooh. He was hiding there. Why? Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Thought so. They wouldn't. They, I think they would. They might do it by once the anime ended. That uh, Hasegawa will eventually turn his life around. But I don't think they'll be doing that. Especially that Gintama's given another season, and I think they were somewhat also saving some kind of animation budget in that in this episode. Because at the beginning of the episode, they just made an announcement with still images, and another in the next in the start of the episode, they just made a lot of Hasegawa flashback story, and I guess somewhat to remind us how, especially it's I think it's around 150 plus episodes already, so to just show how much Hasegawa has went through, but nothing really changed. It just it's the same story with Hasegawa, and I think the best just to remind us what with Hasegawa's wife. I think that is the most greatest turning point in Hasegawa's life, because I think in that episode he really wanted to commit suicide, and and funny thing is that they also did that in the end of this episode, um, but still, it's also a somewhat kind of a lesson for us, especially if you're going through these kind of things, especially if you're somewhat um, addicted to gambling, or if you're just considering trying um, to do gambling, because uh, yeah, usually the case with gambling is once you start is you just think it's just you just want to try it, and then eventually you get addicted to it, especially once you win. I think that's the biggest trap of the gambling processes with gambling, is that once you um, once you win, you're 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 you'll be expecting that will happen most of the time, but usually um, losing is much more frequent in gambling, especially I think because there's some kind of um, manipulation going on with gambling places, and the problem is the more you win, the more greedy you become, and usually uh, also I guess it depends on the game, but um, it's like there are times where it's all or nothing, and even though you have this massive amount of winnings in just one situation, you could lose it all. So I think that's the trap of a gamble is, and I think people should just be satisfied with their win, or just be satisfied with what they already have, rather than just playing it too risky and too greedy. And the sad thing is that all of the work that Hasegawa has done throughout the years as a homeless person, all those work um, is gone now because he just lost it on that gamble. And even Gin, I guess the good thing with Gin is that he has a home. He has a home to go back to, um, but Hasegawa doesn't have any of that. And in reality, the case is that the problem is it's not just you or the gambler who's going to suffer once you lost that kind of money to gambling. it's also the people who are depending on you, or the people with living with you. And I guess, especially if you're also gambling, um, your food income or things like that. So it's a great reminder for us, for everyone, to look at these two guys as an example. And I know this is a gag anime, but still, it's, I think they're somewhat evoking some kind of message for us to learn from. And at the same time, yeah, of course, in anime and gag, it's funny to see these two guys. I guess it depends on the audience, but um, the joke is that they'll be going home in their underwear and things like that. But in real life, that also, I think, somewhat happens to people who are so obsessed with winning in gambling. So yeah, yeah, it's another. I guess the thing with Hasegawa's um, episodes, whenever it's more Hasegawa focused, it always gives lessons about failures in life, and things that we have to learn from, and not to emulate, not to copy, as instead to be set as a warning for us, and as a lesson to learn from. So it's a even though it's more of a recap episode of what Hasegawa has went through, it still has some kind of value and message to it. And yeah, I wonder. And just as I expected, I never expected it. I never, because it would really, uh, the only reason that they would turn around Hasegawa's um, lifestyle, or his current situation, is, I think, when they finally decided to remove Hasegawa from the group. Because I think once Hasegawa's finally settled down his life, um, he wouldn't have that much time with Kin. I guess he would still have much time, but I think he would be more focused on with his family, with his, I think he has a daughter, aside from his wife. And then yeah, I think with Gin, I wonder how old. They never mentioned how old. I forgot, or maybe they did, or just forgot how old Hasegawa's in Gin is, and how many years has they been have they been already doing this. And yeah, they just spiraling around in this trap of gambling. And they, even though they're just keep upgrading their gambling practices from pachinko to horse racing. And yeah, in the end, they end up being still being left with nothing, and even worse, without nothing, even their clothes. And yeah, so how about you guys? What are your thoughts on this episode? Please like this video if you enjoyed watching, and leave a comment if you want to share your thoughts. And subscribe if this is your first time here, if you want to get updated whenever I upload my reaction videos. And also, if you want to support this channel and you want to have an early access of my reaction videos to Gintama or other anime, just go to the link in the description down below, and it will lead you to my Patreon. There you will have an early access, and at the same time, you can also um, there's also another tier there that I just recently made, where you could become part of the exclusive um, anime reaction request, where you could vote for which anime you would like for me to watch as an exclusive. And also at the same time, um, it's something like more like the Vanguard tier, where you could access a lot more episodes in one go. So if the anime is maybe 12 episodes, so you could watch that uh, as much as maybe daily. And also, if you also want to request a anime movie at the same time, so there's also that benefit if you choose to become part of the vagabond tier, which is a $50 um, uh, pledge to my Patreon. So it will really help support this channel a lot and help me in continuing this channel, and hopefully I could also create more reaction videos in the future. So thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Have a great day. Goodbye.